Okay, good morning, everyone. Live from Silicon Valley, California. This is Bhakti Community, and we welcome you all to our Women's Circle. Our host this morning is Ananda Vrindavan, and she is a spiritual entrepreneur, brought up in a very pious family, practicing Bhakti Yoga lifestyle since she got married, and even before, actually, even lifetimes before. She has 2 teenager boys, and she is actively involved in various educational initiatives. Welcome to Women's Circle, Ananda. Today we are going to do a special topic. We are going to do a little bit detour from our regular Bhagavad Gita, especially because of some festival that is coming up on Monday. And Ananda wants to talk about the Golden Avatar. Let's hear from her. Welcome, Ananda.
Hare Krishna, Pabani. Thank you so much. So nice
Hare
to see
Krishna.
you all. Hope everyone is doing well. And yes, as Pabani said, tomorrow is Gaura Purnima, or the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is how we thought that we would discuss about him today. We are nowhere to discuss about him because we are not qualified, definitely, but to purify ourselves, we should read about him, we should hear about him, we should chant Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name. So that's why we thought. Hope everyone is okay for a diversion from Bhagavad Gita to the Golden Avatar.
I'm sure, because this is a little bit unknown area and trajectory for many of us. So it's a good introduction almost for tomorrow's the special day. And thank you, Ananda, for thinking about this.
First of all, I would like to offer my respects to my spiritual teachers as well as all of you present here. Thank you all so much once again. So, who is the golden avatar? Like we have, actually, I had never heard about him before coming to ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada's movement. That always we have heard of different forms of Krishna or in the avatars or the incarnation as he is blue, like he is blue himself. So he's the blue boy, and then he is as a bluish green, like Lord Ram, white, red, many different colors he has appeared. And also he has appeared in many different forms, like starting from aquatics, beasts, right? Like lion and boar, like half man, half lion. And also a person who is born like as a human being when he has appeared, like Lord Ram or Krishna himself or Parshuram, Balaram, they are all like royal families, like not ordinary family or Brahmin family like Parshuram, a great sage's son. But when he appears as this golden avatar or Gauranga form, he is, golden means Gaura in Sanskrit. So like molten gold is Gaura. Like, gold as such, it looks nice, right? But when you heat it up, like if you have seen in goldsmith's place, I was brought up in a small town where you can see all kinds of people, goldsmith, blacksmith, fisherman, everybody, all kinds of professions there. And there I have seen the goldsmiths, like when they put the gold on the fire or touch it to the fire, it melts, right? And it becomes really beautiful. It becomes real molten gold. And that color is Gaura, which is much better than just the gold color. And Krishna appeared at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Gauranga Mahaprabhu in that same color. And why is that? We will know. But he is very much a hidden incarnation that hardly people know about him. In the scriptures also it is given in a hidden way or in a very confidential way, so that normally people just overlook that thing and don't know about him. So there are many regions of Krishna appeared as this golden avatar. When he appeared is in 1486 in Bengal, India, at the bank of the Ganges. So it's around 45 years back, right? So, and he appeared as a baby in a small ordinary family. As I said in previous incarnations, he was always in very well-known families, but this one, he just appeared in an ordinary family, and he was just trying to not show his supremacy from the beginning. And why is that? Because in the Bhagavad Gita, when we read in the 18th chapter, Krishna says, Sarva dharman paritejya mam ekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhya moksheshyami mascha. So he says that just surrender unto me as the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, and I will take care of you. Do not worry. Right? So, but he didn't say, because that's the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he didn't say how to surrender, right? So that's how he himself again came in this, because 5,000 years back he gave this knowledge, and 500 years back he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give that same knowledge, not to just give, but to show how to surrender Krishna completely. So he came as a devotee, and he appeared in a devotee family. And in his childhood, if you see, it is his like same mischiefs like Krishna did in Vrindavan in his childhood, very similar. And then, but the later part of his life, he exhibited that mood of him, why he appeared. So there are many regions of his appearance. Definitely the first one is Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glade Bhavati Bharata. Like in Bhagavad Gita, he says in the 4th chapter that I appear millennium after millennium to establish the religion and to annihilate the miscreants and to protect the devotees. So that was definitely one of the regions of his appearance here as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the golden avatar, that to establish the Yuga Dharma, which is every Yuga, there is a path of perfection or path of religion, and Kali Yuga is chanting of the holy name, right? As we know, that Satya Yuga was meditation, Treta Yuga is fire sacrifice, the Upper Yuga is deity worship, and Kali Yuga is chanting of the holy name. So for that region, that is the external region, or the first region where he appears, is to establish that Yuga Dharma, the Sankirtan or congregational chanting of the holy name, because there is no other way than this. We cannot do that pure fire sacrifice. We cannot do the longest years of meditation as we have limited time. We cannot do the elaborate deity worship because of not pure ingredients, and also we have less time. And that's why only thing left is just by our senses, by utilizing our tongue and ear and mind, we just chant the holy name. Chanting it through our tongue, hearing it through our ears, and focusing our mind on that name only, nothing else. So it's so easy, but at the same time, it's difficult also to do the meditation. So, but this is the only thing the people in Kali Yuga can do. So he appears for that region as the first thing. Then the second thing he appears is, people who are going completely astray by different methods of worship, different methods of, but Kali Yuga is also deteriorated. Like we know, like always we are misguided, undisturbed. So the misguided thing was happening at that time. So Sri Advaita Acharya, a great Vaishnava, he prays to him every day. He cries out loudly, please appear, Krishna, that do something for this horrible Kali Yuga people. How can they be delivered? So he thinks, okay, this is the time now. So those are the regions, external ones, as Acharya said. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has written in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But there are some internal regions. But until now, what we have heard, maybe we can discuss a little further before going to the internal regions of appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, please feel free to ask any questions, because this topic, not many of you know about it, mostly. This is the time to ask.
Yes, Mataji, I just, when you said that, this avatar is not known to everyone and hasn't been, and we never really, I think, knew about Mahaprabhu and until we came to know ISKCON. And I was just wondering that why is it so, of course, it's possible that people don't know because, Kali Yuga, it's the age of ignorance and not, but why our scriptures, like the scriptures do not mention it. I was wondering, why is it so?
Why the whole story is not there in the scriptures, right?
Right, yeah.
Like the other incarnations are there. Yeah, that's what, as I said, scriptures are giving very little hint about it. Bhagavatam, there are a couple of places only, like when in the 7th canto, it is said, like, he appears in 3 different colors, like white, red, golden. He himself is black or blue, of course. So there it is mentioned. Another place it is mentioned in 11th canto that, he will, Yagye Sankirtane by Yajanti Sumedasa. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangha Pangatra Parsadam. Again, Sankirtane pride, Yajanti Sumedasa. So there it is said that Krishna will appear in an Krishna Varna, or not the black color, but the opposite of it, right? Which is golden. And then also, yeah, this is the first one when it says about 3 colors. And then it says that in the 11th canto that he appears in this incarnation with his associates. And what is his astra or weapon? Like other incarnations, he holds the weapons as either the Sudarshan Chakra or the bow, like Lord Ram, right? Or sometimes he have used Gada in Lord Boar incarnation, the club. But here there is no weapon as such. The weapon is his associates and the holy name. So with that, by the weapon of holy name, he delivers people. Other incarnations, he was killing by his weapons and delivering the people, right? So that is the difference. And even Vishnu Sahasranam, it is said, Hemanga, like, as one of the names of Vishnu, and which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. He is Hemanga, or golden body. So and also under Puranas like Varaha Purana and other Puranas, it is mentioned, but very less, as you are asking. And because that's how he decided, to be Channa, or to be hidden, so that only people, it is said, right, in that shloka in 11th cantos, Yajanti hi sumedhasa, like those, they will accept this method, those who are really intelligent people, because they know this is the method and nothing else can be done. And they are very, 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 what it is said, very much enthusiastic and very much eager to, get the perfection. Not everybody. So they are only intelligent, because Kali Yuga, mostly people are less intelligent, right? Like it's not like Satya Yuga, it's the complete opposite. So that's why when it is only few people can get it properly, this confidential method of perfection, even though it is the Yuga Dharma, that's why he has established the Yuga Dharma, giving this to everybody. Because earlier people were just chanting the holy name as a Shruti mantra, like silently, how we do Gayatri mantra. But when Mahaprabhu appeared, he gave it to each and every, and it was only by the Brahmins, right, who are highly learned people. But he gave it to everybody. And that time, actually, the Brahmins complained to Chandkaji that, see, he is not following real Hinduism, real Vedic literature, that he's giving this purest of the mantras to everybody in the street, not thinking about their caste or the birth, not thinking about that religion. When the Muslims are getting it, they are chanting. The mantra is getting impure. That's not the case. Mantra can never be impure. So that's what the complaint was by the Orthodox Brahmins. So because he is the Supreme Lord himself, he can establish that, okay, everybody can chant, like Ramanujacharya also established in the same way, the mantra for everybody, for any kind of people. So there is no birth, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that only the qualification describes or defines their class of the society, right? Not by birth. So that's how he has decided himself to be hidden, so that people will really find the jewel and practice it. Like Prabhupada says also, in a diamond shop, you will see hardly any customers. Whenever you go, it will be only 2-3 people, or almost empty. But if you go to a regular store, there would be lots and lots of people. So in the same way, this is the diamond, holy name for this age. And normally, because Maya is so strong that Maya just tries people to get away of Krishna. So it's very difficult for people to accept this process. And as that's how this age is. So that's why the reason is only the people who are really, really interested to get that diamond, or they are capable. Everybody is capable, right? Everybody. That's how he gave it to everybody. But it's up to the people how many would take it. So that is how he has kept it very simple. and very much low level, right? He has never said that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even though now he can see any kind of people, they get some mystic power and or yogic power in some way, and they establish themselves as I'm God, which is completely wrong, because nobody can God other than God himself, right? Nobody can be equal to or higher than Krishna himself. So that's how this is given, that it is an hidden incarnation, and it's hardly people know, but definitely if you have the good fortune, then you will know about it, definitely. So that's how you are all here, and you can know about him more and more by reading his book, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Unless we chant the holy name, get that purity, we cannot really understand him. We cannot really accept him, because he has not established himself as the Supreme Lord. So that's how it is hidden. Anything else?
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was very nice.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll go to the second portion of it. I think Pavani shared something.
Yeah, I was just sharing this article. I didn't expect to go through this now, but overall, it talks about
And which Puranas?
yeah, all the various Puranas, and it's nicely captured. I can quickly open my screen. It was really nice, and so you kind of already covered, but this will give a nice. I like this because it's pictorial version of where are all the references about Mahaprabhu. So as Mataji said, the 11th canto, Krishna Varnam, this one, this verse. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the holy name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associate servants, weapons, and confidential companions. And then Vishnu Shastranam, which is spoken by Bhishma, Swarna Varno Hemangu, that's where he is mentioned. Then Garuda Puran, people read this when somebody passes away. It says that in the first part of Kali Yuga, I will appear in my complete spiritual form in Mayapur Navadvip and become the son of Sachi. Exactly said. And then Supreme Lord in the golden complexion will become the husband of Lakshmi, and then he will become a sannyasi and reside near Lord Jagannath. And this is the famous episode. Then Narsimha Puran also says same thing. Padma Puran, I shall take birth as the son of Sachi. Then Narad Puran. So many of these Puran, Bhavishya Puran. It actually mentioned Vayu Puran also. Exactly even the day when he will be born. Matsya Puran. So you can see Skanda Puran. So many of these. So you can research about this more. But just this is a glimpse of all the references.
Yes. So thank you, Pavani. That's a very nice article for sharing. Then we'll discuss about the internal regions, why he appears. So first of all, you see that same blue boy has become a golden boy, right? So why is that? Because he wanted to he wanted to let people know about Radharani. So Radharani is of molten gold color, and he was seeing that Radharani has so much of pure love, like is the embodiment of love. All the love is coming, whatever you see in the world is coming from her, because she is the embodiment of love. She is the storehouse of love. And she is, Krishna didn't know what really she thinks, so like why she loves him that much, or what is her mood, or what is that pure love. So he wanted to taste that pure love himself, And when he is getting that mood of pure love of Radharani, his color changes to that color, same as Radharani. He cannot keep his original color because he has been completely, absorbed in that mood of Radharani. So as Krishna is Antajami, Sarvagya, right? He knows everything. Other than one thing that, what is that pure love? How is that? Like he can know everything other than the bhakti, other than the love and devotion, right? Because he is not doing that. So that's how that is the capacity of Radharani, and he wanted to taste that love. So when he wanted to taste that love, he got the change of his complexion. And then the second thing is how Radharani was becoming happy by seeing him, by his threefold bending form playing flute. He wanted to become that, he wanted to get that bliss and that happiness. So that's why he stays in Jagannath Puri in front of Jagannath. When he was seeing Jagannath in Radharani's mood, he was becoming happy, because he was seeing Jagannath as Krishna. Definitely Jagannath is Krishna himself, again in the form of intense love. That's how Jagannath's form is different than Krishna, right? He has big eyes, big mouth, and strong hands and legs, because that is the Mahabhava form, or the intense love form, and out of intense separation. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was seeing Jagannath, he was becoming happy, how Radharani becomes happy seeing Krishna. So he was seeing Jagannath as that threefold bending form of Krishna, because he was in Radharani's mood. So that's what he wanted to get, that supreme happiness or supreme bliss by that Radharani was getting by seeing Krishna. Like one time, there is a pastime that Krishna was seeing, he was at the bank of the pond, and when he looks at his face as the reflection, he was like, who is this? Who is so beautiful? Who is so attractive? Who is this? He was so absorbed in seeing that beautiful form of himself. And after some time, he realized, oh, that is me only. But how is that possible that I'm so beautiful? So he wanted to know that, like, how he's so beautiful. He wanted to see himself, the beauty of himself in another eye, and as in the mood of Radharani. So that's how he takes that process. And the third thing is definitely like, how that pure love, it is nothing else, right? Nothing but that love. So he wanted to exhibit that also as a devotee to others, that he has exhibited towards the end of his life. After he takes sannyas, he has exhibited that intense love. How we read in Nectar of Devotion, lot of different symptoms of ecstatic love and the intense love, and that he has exhibited. Like sometimes his body will completely shrink, sometimes he will expand like very long, and that is all. And sometimes he'll just roll and cry and cry. Sometimes he'll dance like a madman. So all that intense love symptoms he exhibited, how a pure devotee exhibits. So that's what to show. And throughout the life, he has shown himself as a devotee. Like he is not, as I said, he is not established as the Supreme Lord. So he had just given us, if you read the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Bhagavatam, you read all about the kings, all about the great sages, and all about the people whom we cannot really conceive in our mind. That's kind of kings do not exist now. Those kind of sages or learned people do not exist now. But so it takes time for us to digest, oh, really it happened. But if you read the biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is like life of ordinary people like us, life of all the householders, like all his associates were householders. There was nobody else who was a sannyasi other than him, So that by real examples of this modern age, because 500 years back is not too much old, right? And also it is like, sorry, my phone is ringing. I'll switch it off. Give me a second. Sorry about that in the temple. yeah, so he is what I was saying.
Yeah, no, he was the only sannyasi and his associates were like normal people like us.
Yes.
We can relate.
Yeah, we can relate. And they were of all different kind of profession, like someone was a very rich businessman, someone was was a teacher, someone was just a very poor merchant and all that, or someone is a servant, like that, all different categories of people. And he came, but in the heart, they were very pure devotees. So he came to establish their glories as well. Like a pure devotee, or even Krishna himself, he wants to glorify his devotees, right? Like he wanted to glorify Arjun. That's why he gave the whole episode of Bhagavad Gita he did, right? Otherwise, he would have just killed everybody, right? He doesn't need to make this big war. He would have just killed Duryodhan when Duryodhan was going to arrest him at that point. But he wanted to establish the glories of the Pandavas, glories of Arjun. That's how he made this whole episode, right? In the same way, even in Ram's pastimes, you can see that he always have put the devotees in the higher position than he himself, like Hanuman. He has done that, right? So the glorification of devotees come into picture by the Supreme Lord himself when he appears. Like when Nrsimhadev appeared, then only Prahlad's glories were established, right? Until then, Prahlad was a pure devotee. He could overcome all kind of difficulties what his father was giving, right? He could get rid of all kind of his father's plans for his killing, but nobody knew until Nrsimhadev appeared. And by the appearance of Nrsimhadev, Prahlad was glorified, right? By the appearance of Vamandev, Bali Maharaj was glorified. So in the same way, by the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these ordinary people in the society who are pure devotees in their heart within, right? They all were glorified. So that was another reason that, he wanted to show us the real time examples, right? That people of any class, of any varna or any profession can also become a pure devotee, how his associates were. So that's what he established. So that was one of the reasons of his appearance as well.
Yeah, this is so wonderful. I was thinking when you were saying that Krishna wants to know himself, that Krishna also doesn't know himself. So what to speak of us? And we can know Krishna only from his devotee, and Radharani is the best devotee of Krishna, and she's doing everything just for Krishna's happiness, not for her. So we should always take that example and serve the devotees to eventually serve Krishna, and that's how we come to know him. And it just reminded me of that point. And then you also said, I wanted to also say the Krishna's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to taste the sweetness of himself. Is like, a rasgulla want to taste itself. So the rasgulla becomes, somebody who tastes it who relishes it better. And then he becomes Radha, so he can now see the mood of Radha and feel that love for himself, which he cannot feel otherwise. So this whole concept itself is very unique, and how he demonstrates all this love without, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't talk about loving him, just like surrender to me. He's just talking of that level. But here he is actually showing how do we love Krishna. And with Mahaprabhu was not there, we would never understand what is the love for Krishna. And then he demonstrating this whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, whatever is written, is proof of how to love Krishna and how to serve Krishna and how to dedicate your life for Krishna. And so the way Mahaprabhu did. So it's really very amazing to see that how Krishna is so merciful that he gives us that opportunity to learn about how to love.
Yes. That is true. He wanted to show the servant bhav with the love, pure love, right? So he wanted to serve in the mood of Srimati Radharani to himself, right? So to get that sweetness, you said, and which is really, so that's how in the first 24 years when he was a brahmachari, then a grihastha, he has exhibited the pastime same as Krishna. So he was Krishna until first 4 years, and from 24 to 48 years, because he disappeared at the age of 48, and his disappearance is again very mystical. And that 24 years he exhibited as Radharani, because he's the combination of Radha and Krishna. He's Krishna himself in the mood of Radharani, in the effulgence and the mood of Radharani. So first 24 years he exhibited himself as Krishna, and next 24 years, he exhibited himself as Radharani. And if you see in our temple, we don't worship him as in his Radharani's mood. We don't worship him as a sannyasi. We worship him as a Grihastha Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he was Nimai Pandit in Navadvip, not as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after his initiation of sannyas.
Yeah, let's hear others, what questions you have and what realizations you have so far. Please share. Sharing is caring. We always like to hear and learn from everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I just realized one thing, my health is not going great. I'm not able to hear properly. I'm not able to concentrate. But just now I realized that whatever I can hear, it's like I'm hearing God's name. So that is good enough for this time. So at least I'm hearing something rather than not hearing at all.
Yes, that is true. We should not stop hearing. Yeah, that is very true.
So
yeah.
And another thing I just
senses.
Go ahead. Yeah. So I have another question. Like I always heard about, like you said, Radharani is the topmost bhakt of Krishna. Right. But I never heard before coming to this ISKCON and practice. I don't know how to say. So I always heard about Meera, never heard about Radharani. So why is that? Like why people doesn't know about Radharani?
That's the same reason again why people don't know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because if how much we can take, Krishna gives us. If a person hears about Radharani and takes it in a different way and just start offending Radharani and Krishna, then that person is not qualified to know about Radharani. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here to establish the supremacy of Radharani. We went all over the India preaching the worship of Radha Krishna and meaning of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And even in the South India, normally people in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, they worship Lakshmi and Narayan, right? Of course, Lakshmi and Narayan are the supreme. And that is what it was there, right? Lakshmi Narayan and Sitaram. Or if they were worshipping Krishna, they were just worshipping Krishna, like Madhvacharya had worshipped just Krishna, right? The Bala Krishna. But Radha Krishna worship was not established at that point of time in that much of, spreaded way. It was very limited to certain people or certain families. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu establishes, that is what another region of him, as I told, of his appearance, that, establishing the supremacy of Radharani, who is the embodiment of love. So that's why he appeared, that to give that knowledge to everyone who is Radharani, and why we should worship her, why we don't worship just Krishna, we worship Radha and Krishna, because they both are same, but in two different bodies. Krishna is himself, when his pleasure potency is personification is Radharani. He wanted to get the pleasure out of his own potency, or out of his own internal energy, out of his own Shakti. Radharani appears at that moment. as the personification of his pleasure potency, or Alladini Shakti, who gives pleasure to Krishna. And that's how she is the supreme of all the goddesses, because how Krishna is the origin of all the Vishnu Tattva, Radharani is the origin of all the Shakti Tattvas. She is the embodiment of all the energy, spiritual energy, and the pure love or spiritual love. So that's how it is. People don't know much, as it might go in a wrong way if they know. So those who are qualified, those who are really understanding, then they know about it. It's not easy to understand the supremacy of Radharani.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Stacy. Nice
Oh,
to see you.
as soon as I heard those words, the Rasgulla wants to taste the Rasgulla, I stopped thinking, and all I can think of is Rasgullas. So is this about Krishna being Radharani in order? Remind me what that analogy was.
Go ahead, Pavani.
Yeah, Krishna being Radharani, so he can taste himself. So what is Radharani relishing when she eats this rasgulla, for example, right? What is she relishing? So he doesn't know why she loves him so much. What is it? What are his qualities that she likes him so much? Why? So then he becomes Radharani actually as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste the same, relish the same thing that Radharani feels. Why she loves him so much. And then once he goes in that mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's we can demonstrate so much of the Vipralamba Bhav, like the mood of separation, like how. So he actually teaches how we should love. Like if you have a lover, if the lover is nearby you, it's love is there. Yes, of course, you are serving the lover and everything. But when the lover goes away for 1 year, that love of yours becomes so intense. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually demonstrates that love, and when he relishes there, then he understands like why Radha loves him so much. So he becomes Radha to taste that same rasgulla that Radha Rani is tasting, how she relishes. He is now relishing it in this avatar.
So Krishna is so humble that he doesn't understand how lovable he is.
Yeah, even sages, after so many years of meditation, cannot understand him. And I even told like Krishna doesn't even understand himself. That's how, because he's limitless. So the more you understand, the more he expands. The more he expands, the more he expands. He's limitless. Nobody can understand him. So it's just a point that it says that how Krishna is limitless in everything, and in his attractiveness, in his beauty, in his speech, in everything, he's limitless. So he's beyond anybody's understanding.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Ruchi. So nice to see you after a long time. Hope you're doing well.
Mataji, what is the difference between worshipping Krishna and worshipping Radharani?
Radharani cannot be worshipped just by herself. Radharani has to be worshipped with Krishna. She doesn't like just by herself. So if we worship Krishna, definitely he's the supreme. That's how we are worshipping him. But if we are worshipping with Radharani, then we are, making it complete, because Krishna cannot be complete without his energy, right? He is energetic, but energetic has no value without the energy. So if we take Radharani away from him, means we are taking his energy away. We're not worshipping him completely. So when we worship with Radharani, that is the complete worship, because, neither Krishna wants to be alone just by himself, nor Radharani wants to be alone just by herself. So they both, even the one person in two different bodies, so that's how they both make it complete, not just one. Does that make sense, Ruchi?
philosophically that makes sense, right? But sometimes it feels like you keep praying to Krishna and he's not listening. And then I question if I am insane that worshipping a stone or a metal and then thinking something will happen, or is it like Radharani is a lot more merciful? Is Krishna more approachable through Radharani? Or
Yes, that is another reason actually, that Krishna is more approachable through Radharani than just approaching him directly. So, for example, to go to a big man, you need to take the permission from the secretary, right? To meet that person. In the same way, to approach Krishna, we need Guru, right? Guru Parampara and Radharani's mercy, because Radharani is so merciful that she will just allow us. Without her, permission, we cannot reach Krishna, because she is the supreme devotee, right? So by her permission, by her approval only we can go. Like even Lord Shiva could not enter, right, to the realm of Rasa Mandal without praying, right? Because it's not. So if Lord Shiva cannot, then what about us? So that is why definitely we should, all the Manjaris and Gopis, they were just assisting Radharani in service to Krishna. They never served Krishna directly, right? So they were all the servants of the servants or the assistants of Radharani. So that's how you can reach to Krishna. So it's like, that's why in the Mahamantra also, Radharani's name is there as Hare, right? O Hara, energy of Krishna. O Radharani, and O Krishna, please bless me, or please give me devotional service. So that's why without her, it's not possible. And there are multiple stories how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has exhibited that he himself, like that's how if you read his South India Yatra, where he talked to people about worship of Radha Krishna, who were worshipping Lakshmi Narayan, and how they could understand it, and they started doing that. So that's how we need to approach Radharani. That's why Hare is coming first in the Mahamantra, right? It's not Krishna, 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 Hare, right? It's Hare Krishna. So that's how we are approaching through Radharani to him.
Yeah, just adding Ruchi for you. The way you said it felt like Krishna is not listening to anything. That I better just serve Radha and maybe I will get it. But as Mataji said, we cannot separate them. They are the energy and the energetic. But all the things that we go through, that happens to, or they will happen, because we have the three kinds of miseries, right? Like the misery adhyatmic, like miseries within our mind, where we make up things, and we are suffering for ourselves, and then miseries from other living entities, and miseries from other demigods like volcanoes and all these things. So these things are unavoidable. But if we just keep praying to have the mood, so because our parampara is the Gaudiya Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So in that, what we are trying to pray is to get the mood of the gopis. And that just cannot be just got, that just cannot be got. Even like Lakshmi, who's like Lakshmi Narayan, they're always called together. She also doesn't have that mood. She's always in the mood of service, even in the Vaikuntha, which is so clean. She's just sweeping the floors to just get an attention of Krishna. So what to speak of us? So the point is that just by praying for that mood and serving the devotees, serving the parampara, like serving the guru, serving the devotees, we will see that all of these three kleshas that I talked about, the Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, and Adi Daivik, we will transcend them, because yes, we are going through these difficulties. It's unavoidable in the material world. But once we take this shelter of the guru and take into the parampara, then we transcend all these things. We get the maturity. And then it's not like, should I pray Radha or should I pray Krishna? Our desires itself will change. Right now, our desires are very materialistic. Our desires will change. And that's what is a goal of life. The goal of life is to get that love for Krishna. And that could be get only by serving and by praying to be in the mood of the Vrajavasis. Hope it
Yes.
helps, Ruchi.
Anything else? Otherwise, we'll go to the
Can add one more thing, like how actually Mataji covered it, but I just want to put a different. I don't know whether this is right. I have a question as well as a confirmation. Both. It's like how Krishna is the one alone, right? And then Radharani is the energy, but at the same time, like how that Krishna's energy is a feminine part of the Krishna that represents the Radharani also. And like without Radharani, the reason we cannot reach Krishna is without, like suppose I say, can you even separate Sunita from her energy? You cannot separate them. But at the same time, while we are praying, why we are praying? Right? What the reason that I am praying is not, are you praying for Krishna, for the sake of Krishna, for the love of Krishna? We need to find that. So once you are loving Krishna for the love of Krishna, you can pray Krishna. But if you are praying for some materialistic, that's what I say, I it out. When you are praying Krishna for some desire, it is advisable, they say, go through Radharani, because the desire fulfiller is his energy, right? His energy will give different energy, gives different blessings. And that's why they say, if you love for the sake and just love Krishna, you can pray Krishna. Because Krishna and Radharani is not separate. I always had this doubt when I started this journey. Why two? It's one. So that's what that made me feel that, oh, okay, now I get it. If I have a desire, go through Radharani. I don't know whether that is right or wrong. Please clarify me, Mataji.
last part I could not hear. Desire and the other thing you said something?
No, I said that if you are praying Krishna for the love of Krishna, because Krishna and Radha are not separate at all, then if you are desire just to become that oneness with Krishna, and if it is bothers you not to go through Radha, it's okay just to pray Krishna, because he is the one, not separate. But if you have a desire fulfilling, like any desire, like suppose I'm asking, oh Bhagwan, mera tabiyat aaj theek kar do. I'm just as simple as that. Then they say it's better to go through, because Krishna's energy is Radha. So I don't know whether that is right or wrong. Just clarify that.
I see. Yeah, no, but for anything, it's not just desire, it is just out of pure love also. It is like, we are praying both through the Mahamantra. So Mahamantra, we are not praying for any desire. Yeah, if you are doing for desire, that is also fine. But just praying it out of, your Niskam Bhakti, right? So still it is for both. Definitely it is one. They both are one. They are not separate. They are the same. But, to get that rasa of the pure love, if you go to Golok Vrindavan, you will see Radha and Krishna, right? You will not just see Krishna. So to enhance that rasa, the mellows, that's how it is. He has created Radharani, right? For the pleasure potency, for him, as the pleasure potency or as the Alladini Shakti. So that is how it is. They are two different personality, even the one person. So that's what we have to see, that always it is one, definitely. But at the same time, to establish that mellows or establish the rasa, they are two different people. That's how that should be in our mind. I hope that helps Sunita Mataji.
Got it. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, just for the rasa.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that was good. Priyanka, you have a question? She
No,
cooks and
Mataji, no question. I just, when Mataji said, was saying that, how all the Manjaris, gopis, they're serving Radha Rani, not directly serving Krishna. And I was thinking, I mean, how different it is from the material world. They also love Krishna and they know that Krishna loves Radha. So serving Radha will make Krishna happy. And so it's like just another level completely. I mean, I was just, appreciating and admiring and just wondering how pure their hearts are and their love for Krishna is so high.
Yeah. They just don't want to show that, oh, I'm doing it, Krishna, Radharani. Why should I do for you? Why should I help you? I can go and directly do it for him, right? That's not the mood. Yes, as you said. It's nice. And Mahaprabhu has exhibited actually. Recently, I was reading the pastime with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a great Vedantist, right? He was a great Pandit. He was the of that time. And when he completely understood this philosophy of Radha and Krishna and through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was dumbfounded. He said, whatever I had learned until now is completely eradicated from my memory because I'm completely ecstatic now in the pure love of Radha and Krishna. And when Mahaprabhu was going to South India tour, leaving Jagannath Puri, he was like, he fainted, said, how can I live without your separation? Like, see, a great personality. He's a great Pandit, great learned person, great Vedantist. Everybody is worshipping him, right? As that because of his knowledge and seniority, but he's much senior to even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by age, like his father's age. And at the same time, after he got the real knowledge from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was completely changed. And he was thinking how he can be separated from Mahaprabhu for those many months or years, whatever. And that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, when he pleaded him, please stay for some more days and go. And Mahaprabhu also accepted that. And second thing is, when Mahaprabhu is leaving, he said, I need your blessings. So you can imagine if Mahaprabhu is saying to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who became his disciple in terms of knowledge, right? And he's saying, please bless me so that I can be successful in my yatra and come back to Puri as soon as possible. And in the purport, Prabhupada gives a very nice example. That is the nature of a pure devotee. And Mahaprabhu is just exhibiting by his own example. Even though he is God himself, even though he is in a superior position than Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he is asking his blessing wherever Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is a Gruhastha person, he is a household, he is just a regular person, he has not established anything. Still, he's getting plus from him, becoming the servant of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, even though he has given him all the knowledge. That shows the mood of a devotee that always to make themselves lower than the other person, makes themselves as the servant of that person. So that's how the gopis and manjaris, they wanted to be the servant of the servant rather than directly approaching Krishna. And Mahaprabhu himself is he's God himself. He doesn't need to go for a yatra. He doesn't need to take blessings from anyone, right? And even in that position, he was a sannyasi. He doesn't need to take blessings from anyone, but he takes blessings from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, an ordinary household man, to exhibit that example that what should be the mood of a devotee, keeping always others on the top.
Yeah, and I even like what Priyanka said that the gopis. If there is one gopi who makes like one kind of garland better or prepares one kind of dish better, they just want to make that gopi go in front and do because they want the best for Krishna. They don't have the competition that, oh, she's better, but I can still do and I'll do. And so in our life, we can do this as a practice, like for devotees. Like if say Ananda's birthday and I just say, no, I only want to show off everything to Ananda and I only cook everything. But I know that Sunita is good at making gulab jamun and Priyanka is at pani puri. Then I can mix everybody and take that everybody's best and then offer it to Ananda or actually the spiritual master. That's even better. So we can practice those skills in this life so that we don't have those enviousness that there is enviousness, no entry, and the gate cannot open for us for Goloka. So that this life we can practice it. And even I heard that Ramanand Rai also in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's episode, the Sarvabhauma actually, when Mataji was saying, he tells Mahaprabhu that when you go to this place, please visit this Ramanand Rai. He knows a lot about Krishna. He can tell you a lot about Krishna. Please meet with him. And when Mahaprabhu meets, Ramanand Rai knows that he is Krishna himself. And Mahaprabhu meets him, and Ramananda Rai Mahaprabhu tells him, tell me about Krishna, what you know. And he tells there's a lot of philosophical discussion about who is superior and all that. And Ramananda Rai tells a lot of things. And Mahaprabhu says that, oh, I'm so I'm so happy that you shared all of these things to me. You are a great devotee. And that time Ramanand says that, what am I? I am just a puppet in your hands. You are making me speak all this. You are the Sutradhar. I am just a drama player. So you are doing all these things. So it's the mood is the right mood, because you can never surpass your guru. And it's always your guru who makes, in this case, is Krishna himself. And but Krishna gives credit to his devotees, like, that you are educating me, whereas he's the one who's controlling him even. So those things, a lot of things from Mahaprabhu we learn from all the pastimes. So deep they are. Did I say it rightly or mess up something?
Yes. No, you did say it. Yeah, like always you hear Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaking Arjuna, or Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami speaking Parikshit, but in Mahaprabhu's pastime, it is the opposite. The Ramanand Rai is speaking to Mahaprabhu, and that is very beautiful. All the knowledge is giving to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu wants to hear just from him. Yeah. Okay, I think we had another story, but we have the time off, so we can do that.
Oh yeah. Oh, time just passed so fast. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I just saw the time and
Yeah.
And today we have the temple program in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 o'clock, right?
10:30 class
10:30.
start.
Oh, 10:30. Okay, so good. I have half an hour extra time.
10:30. So today morning we have temple program instead of evening for Sunday. And again tomorrow morning and evening. You can come as much time as possible. And there are a lot of service opportunities as well for the local people here. I'm not saying for Stacy and Amazia, but you can try at your place as well. But definitely you can try to do some service at the temple. That would be the best.
And I just wanted to say to Renu Mataji that Renu Mataji, we're all praying for you that you can join us, in serving in the temple, in person.
Yeah, as you cannot stand much and all, you can sit and make garlands, Renu.
Okay. She was saying she's not able to hear something, so maybe something is happening. So
That's okay. We're still praying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we will end with a quick round of Mahamantra chanting so that we are all prepared for a wonderful day ahead. Ananda, would you like to lead? I can share the screen.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, let's pray to Nitai and Gauranga, and then we can chant the Mahamantra. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananda. See you today or tomorrow in person. And thank you, everyone, for a wonderful session and for all your contributions and participation today.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank
Hari
you.
Bol.
Have a good week. Bye.
You too. Thank you.
You too.
Happy Holi, everybody.
Happy Holi.
Yeah.